Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So myself Gautam. Today in this video we are going to talk about my complete GATE preparation journey starting from my third year to final year of engineering, and how did I land up in placements and why did I choose placements instead of going for a GATE exam. So let's get started with this video. So firstly, how it all started. It was like COVID time and colleges had shut down for some time and classes were all going online. So what happened was during this time I had plenty of time. I was looking at random videos on YouTube and one fine day I saw a video called "What do you do after BTech?" This video was from Ravindra Babu Ravula on his YouTube channel and I just opened that video. It was a 20 minutes video. Clearly broken down everything, starting from the placements, how it will be, like what will be the preparation, how are the things, what are the potential that the exam has, all that. So I was at SRM University. The placements are basically decent enough there, of course, but still the number of companies that comes to hiring is not good enough. They do come, but not very frequently. And also the opportunity, considering the number of opportunities that they will give for this college, is relatively less. So that is when I started looking at this video, and then the video was mostly about what are the subjects in GATE examinations and how much time would it take for preparation and what is within with each and every subject. So once he broken down that, I found it very easy because he broken down things clearly for me to understand. It was not so hard because I pretty well the topics that were listed there, and that's it. So that's how the journey started. Like I thought it was very simple, not so hard. And at that moment, I was a part of ECE department doing all my semester exams, everything. But I wanted to get into computer science. The reason is that I am very passionate about computer science since my childhood, and that's why I just wanted to get into this domain. So I got an opportunity to prepare for computer science at that moment. Till then, I was doing some simple programming, logical ones. I solved. So it was around third year. So I started my preparation from that time after looking at that video. There are a lot of lectures at that time because there are RBR Ravindra Babu Ravula's lectures, then Applied GATE lectures were there. And MadeEasy was a very established institute which was offline. But at that moment, we only picked something digital because it was like time and we'd be going outside. So I started with my preparation using RBH's Ravindra Babu Ravula's lectures. The free lectures that he uploaded on YouTube were really interesting. I started with the subject called programming and data structures. While I started with that subject, I started writing my notes also. So I prepared everything along with notes. So it took me 2 months to complete notes and lectures for just programming and data structures, and I realized like it's extremely slow for me to actually write my own notes, all that. Then what I did was slowly I picked up some of the already available lectures along with the notes. So there are notes which are actually written by some other people. So you can make use of the notes and add pointers to that. So I thought I will do that because there were like around 8 to 9 subjects which I have to write notes each and every, and I can't be waiting 2 months because I have to practice more, I have to revise things. So that is when I started moving very faster. I picked some already available notes, started revising from them, and then also I started looking at the videos at 2x speed because there are harsh lectures. For example, one single subject there might be 60 to 70 hours lectures, sometimes more than 100 lectures. So I have to watch them to around 2x speed. I was waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, not because I have to prepare. I was genuinely liking the motivation behind preparing for GATE examination. At that moment, it was like for me getting into an IIT was something very fascinating to me. IASC means it's a lot of research work. So that is what I thought, and I felt very interesting. And every day I maintained the discipline to prepare for GATE examination. So I was preparing like day and night for the assessments. And then the government announced that you can start writing the exams by the end of third year itself. So it was like around 4 months time remaining for me to write the exam. Now what I did was I wanted to actually clear the exam by third year itself and then get a better ranking at this moment and then focus on placement in the final years. So what I did was I still fastened the preparation, started following up the notes. I have to start revising things, and still I could not actually finish all the subjects. So by the time it was around like 2 months before the exam, I realized like I will not be able to complete the syllabus. I will not be able to revise because I started the preparation late. And it's okay, it's just the third year. I will go and give the exam simply without any preparation with whatever I have done. I will start the preparation because anyways it's going to be COVID and I'm going to stay home. Online classes were all going and the semesters were happening. I was preparing for GATE examination. I went and gave the third year examination. I did not even qualify the exam because I did not revise anything. I just prepared the notes, did not attempt test series much, did maths, did aptitude, and did not even qualify the exam at that moment. After my third year life exam, I was not demotivated because I did not complete my preparation itself. I'm okay at least because I could understand the questions that came in the exams. And that's how my third year preparation was like. So for that exam, which I prepared for third year, for GATE examination, I completed only few things like Maths and Aptitude, I prepared them, but I did not revise them at all. Then theory of computation, I know the concepts. Compiler design is the easiest subject because it is the very shortest subject. There is a which you have to draw and all. That part is a little complicated. That also, I practiced all the things except the harder ones in compiler design. Next, coming to operating systems, except memory management, I was prepared for other things because memory management is very vast. Next, DBMS, it's extremely large subject. Maybe it feels like a simple SQL query when you're actually executing, but coming to the subject itself, it's extremely large because you have to talk about relationships, you have to understand lockings, how things work, ACID, what are the protocols. So it's extremely large. It is extremely large, but it's an easy subject. Though I have not practiced well for the third year preparation. So these were all the items I prepared for my third year. I did not even qualify the exam, as I said before. 25 to 27 was the mark that I used to get in my test series. I was actually happy with that for the third year preparation. That's how my whole third year preparation went. So next, about my final year preparation. At this moment, there are two more subjects which I have not watched lectures at all. It was digital logic design and computer organization and architecture. So what happened was digital logic design, I completed the preparation. It was very clear. The concepts were clear for me. I just completed my notes, everything. Next, coming to this computer organization and architecture, I never understood this subject. Even if I understand the subject, I could not remember this subject for a longer time. I don't know why at all. Even if I go to for example, if I had to attend a test series of computer organization and architecture, I have to immediately write a test, else I will forget the subject. I don't know why I found the subject very hard. So that's how it went. Like post these two subjects, I collected all my notes, revised the whole subjects, like for the whole GATE exam, PDSL, TOCO, CD, operating system, CN, DBMS, and then computer organization architecture, DLD, and then Maths and Aptitude. I revised all of them 3 times. What I mean by revision is every notebook I revised, went through the subjects, each and every page, and then revised them 3 times. Now starting with the test series and the revisions, right? I wanted to parallelize revision, but my strategy was something that I made a mistake. Only revising things conceptually, and I was doing this test series separately. How it could have been done better was that I should have completed the concepts, immediately write a test on that, and then move to the next. That's how I should have done from the start of the preparation. Now it feels like it's going to take much more time because I have never given the test series, just completed the videos and understood the syllabus, did not have the habit of practicing the questions. So that's how it went. Almost everyone around me were preparing for these different books, Aptitude and then DSA and all that. Aptitude is already present in GATE. I was confident I will get into normal companies. I decided that I need some practice to do DSA. Knowing programming and data structures. For example, at that moment, I was in a situation, I know all the concepts. I can solve them and drive run a complete algorithm and then explain things. But I cannot apply that because I did not practice applying that in a problem. So that was a problem, and then I decided that I will enroll into placements because we don't know anyways how much we prepare for GATE. We don't know how it will go. It might be a situation that down the line after 1 year when I wanted to attend the exams, maybe the scores are not good enough. At that time, I can't be doing anything as a fresher. So I enrolled into placements. Along with that, I started doing little bit. Still because I did not have a lot of time. And I was in a mentality that anyways, I'm going to prepare GATE. I'm already confident with most of the subjects. Why would I have to go for a placement? That is for worst case, right? I did not prioritize this DSA, lead coding, all that much during my final year, but just attended what practice the college wanted to give to the students. Post that over a period of time, it was like almost like 6 months away from the year end. I was in a situation very decent. Well, I have prepared everything. I have revised most of the concepts. The remaining part, I just have to do this. This computer organization and architecture was very irritating because I could not remember the concepts at all, or I have taken a wrong route of preparing for this. So now that I have a lot of time and also I am prepared for the assessments, which means like at the time when I attended test series, I was getting some 36, 37, which is very good enough to qualify the exam, just qualify the exam at that moment. My placements also started gearing up sideways and I had to be a little bit prepared. I was technically very strong that I can answer any technical questions, but coming to the actual scenario-based questions, that is what you are mostly judged upon. And I don't have a practical experience as well. So I have to prepare for the behavioral questions, a little bit of aptitude practice and a little bit of DSA practice, not to advanced level, at least to minimal level to crack some decent companies. So I had to do that. Then basically 2 things happened parallelly. One is my placements, the interviews that I have to attend. There were a lot of things getting queued up. A lot of companies were coming and they were continuously hiring, right? And the second thing that happened was, since I was comfortable with the gate preparation, the scores that I was getting in test series, I know I will do decently in the next year gate. Now what happened was, I started going to other lectures on YouTube and checking how are those lectures. So I just picked a few lectures and then realized there were a lot of gaps. Now what happened was, I picked out the syllabus from all the top institutes, saw what are the concepts I actually know. So this was a very big blunder I made. The fear of missing out on some topics and concepts. I did not trust the source I was actually preparing. And slowly I wanted to not miss anything, and I wanted to look at other lectures as well. It was taking a lot of time for me, and I wasted a lot of time, around 1 to 2 months in that space. At that time, also preparation revision was going parallelly along with that placements were going. So the first company that came to campus was by GDS. They came up for some development roles, I believe. It's only discussion based interview on asking questions technically, so I was a little confident on that. So there were a few people who were shortlisted for the same company based on the assessments that we gave for GDS. Now what happened was, all my friends who were attending EY GDS interview on the same day got their interviewers, but I did not get the interviewer. I was very frustrated because that was the first interview I'm going to attend and the interviewer did not come. And then I reported to my placement coordinator that no one has come up to actually take an interview for the meeting. So what happened is, they rescheduled the same interview only for me, and the rescheduled interview also no one came to actually take interviews for me. So it was very disappointing because I was getting prepared for the first interview, and then TCS, Cognizant, all these guys came and gave us assessments, shared, and finally I got shortlisted in all three companies, so that if something goes wrong in gate marks, I have a backup at this moment. Next, there was a company called as Capgemini, offering a little bit better salary, and I was also very much interested that I will be getting into this assessment. So I went to the assessment, started writing the assessment. Seems like what happens is, the assessment was something like 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, something like that, I believe. So at every level, based on the levels that you have attended the assessment and solved the questions in the previous level, you will be promoted to the next level. So it was like 10 o'clock when we started, and by 10:30 I was out from the assessment, and then no one called me till 12 o'clock. I realized that I am the only person who did not actually clear even the first round, which was basically the first assessment round. I don't know why. And then I was very disappointed at that time, because no one was calling me as well. Everyone was actually attending that assessment at that time. So yes, that's how it went. And then there was follow-up exam from another company, because there will be a lot of mails in your email box to attend companies, and your calendar will be completely filled. I was not even sure which company was that. I went and gave the assessment. So the assessment had 2 DSA questions and then 1 SQL question. I'm not sure how many questions I solved, but I solved a decent number of ones, and I got decent number of test cases passed, all that. So I did not even, because I was very disappointed with Capgemini itself. And then Oracle came, and then I enrolled for Oracle and then got into the placement. I was actually selected for getting interviewed post the assessments. And then what happened was, there was a company named State Street. So they scheduled their interview because I cracked the assessment that they have given before. It's a very big company. If you look at top companies, these guys are big institutional holders of those companies after BlackRock and Vanguard. But though it was a very new name for me, and I liked the name State Street, it was very trendy enough for me to hear at that moment. So I looked at Google Maps, how the company looks, all that. I realized the CTC is much more than what was about to offer us. And I think only 2 or 3 people from the whole EC group got an opportunity to be interviewed in this company. So post this, what happened was, I had my interviews. I was luckily selected in this company, and there was some rule called as 2x rule, which was like, if your salary is X in the company that you have selected, you can apply to companies only if the salary is more than 2 times of the current salary that you have. So what happened was, I was blocked out of placements at that time. I did not get any opportunity from any other company to attend. So that's how it went. I have cleared the assessment, not the interview, right? So it was lesser than the 2 times rule what I said as per the SRM placements policy. So they kicked me out of the Oracle interview. I was actually disappointed at that time, but later on I was like, okay, this is a very decent salary that you have right now to start your career. If something goes wrong, let me focus completely on Gate now. Although most of the times I was not at all hearing from any other companies newly, because there were very less number of companies who wants to hire because of the placement policy rules. Now I started my Gate preparation again, and it was very early when I got placed. I think during the start of my placements itself, I got placed, and I did not do anything for the remaining part of my final year career. And luckily there was internship from this company as well. This company basically offered internship, which was about to be starting from January, which means by January, I'm starting my second half of my final year. It was almost like 4 months before January itself, I got placed. I was free for the 4 to 5 months preparing for all that. So Jan 10, the internship started. It was a paid internship. What happened was, it happened to be an AI team, that too not a simple team, it was an AI research team. The work has been very interesting in the company. I really loved the work because the culture in the company was good. Everyone motivating enough, and we were getting proper guidances coming to the, and people who are working here are from really good companies. So I was very fascinated by the fact of working in AI, and also I liked the, it was not simply like a routine work. It felt like exploratory work. A lot of things were going and exploring what to do, how to fix, how to do that, and coming back and fixing it. It was not like a regular software development job. Though it had both development and the research board, there are a lot of things that I could learn from that space. The thing is, your performance also matters for you to be converted to full time. If you don't perform well, they will not convert you to full time. So that is what happened. The first 3 months I was fully occupied, but I really liked doing it. And I started getting bored of GATE exam preparation because the same subjects again and again, same topics. By the time it was December and I was getting 42, 43 marks in test series, which means I will improve over a period of time. I will at least touch 50, 55 was my target, and I will get into some decent colleges. The exam was in March, and the 6 months internship, I had to prove myself to be converted to full time. And March, I was fully occupied on preparing for this job role because till now I'm very confident with my theoretical fundamentals, but I was not practically very confident with the things that we have to do in a practical job. By the time it was March, I was liking this job so much that I don't want to go back to college again, do this mathematics, assessment semesters, research. I don't want to do all this in college once again because it was very interesting in my job. And then I slowly realized I'm not going to do great in this examination. But I was liking the fact I was working in this research team, right? So I wanted to be full time here. So I went for the examination, simply gave the exam, did not revise much, and I was not even sure how much marks I would get. By June, they confirmed that I'm getting converted to a full time. When we converted to full time, the salary was not more than what was mentioned while coming for campus hiring. Almost X plus 4, which means it's a very good salary to start with. And then I realized if I take a GATE exam preparation along with my job, it is going to take me a lot of time, and I have to sacrifice a lot of time and joy of my first job. Second thing is, I had to sacrifice 2 more years doing the same degree, which is actually boring, for just the tag of IIT. Rather, prepare for DSA and get into top companies. So this was the thought process I had at that moment. I had to go study 2 years, then I have to graduate. After graduation, I will join a company as a SD1. But gaining that experience after this BTech in State Street and this research team, because I'm learning a lot of things, it's much better. Because I will end up being better after 1 or 2 years by just preparing for DSA in system design. I will apply for good companies. I stopped preparing for my GATE examination and completely focused on my research work, whatever the company was giving. There were good recognitions, and that's when I stopped preparing for GATE examination. But I don't regret it, because if I had not prepared for GATE examination, I don't think I would be able to clear State Street assessment. So along with the job, now I started doing DSA every day, so that I can apply for better companies in future after 1 or 2 years for me to land up to those good ones to make that kind of salary that you will make in bigger companies. Now I don't regret that choice because I learned a lot of things in my first company where I worked. Second thing is, I don't want to do an engineering degree again after completing BTech. It is so boring. So that's how my whole preparation of GATE went like. It was not a waste of time. Of course, it helped some way around. So yes, that was about my GATE preparation and how I end up with placements. And that is when I learned a lot of things. Everything starting from DSA or computer science fundamentals, whatever it is, or how to switch a company, everything I learned at that time. So yes, that's it about me. If you wanted to know what are the mistakes that I made during my GATE preparation, you can basically learn from there. I will make a video. I forgot to mention that I qualified the GATE examination even without preparing for the last 3 months, because I had the context of what I was actually attending for the questions for. So that's how it went. I was able to at least qualify, and I'm happy about it. Tips and tricks that you can follow during your GATE preparation. I ended up evaluating most of the educators in the GATE industry. And I know at this moment what are the subjects and which educator to follow exactly. I know the details at this moment. So if you want me to make some videos around that, please post them in my comment section so that I will make videos. Thank you. Bye.